Okay, doing normalize replay. With Soraka, this is post-patch Soraka, meaning she cannot give herself infinite mana. Currently, the enemy team has warded his brush. I feel that currently Soraka works best with characters that can basically just spam a lot of mana. So Ezreal's pretty good since he can infinitely Q as often as he wants. Okay, now have your E, which means whenever Tarek tries to be aggressive towards you guys, you can always silence him, and then hopefully Ezreal will deal damage and force him to back off. If he does this a few times without getting a stun off, he's gonna have to go back. He's gonna have no health. You should be staying close enough so that you're always in range to silence Tarek when he goes after Ezreal. I wouldn't have used heal there. Heal should be saved as a surprise in fights, like how they just used it. Using it just to heal up your team, it's a waste. Anyways, so that exchange wasn't terrible. It looks a little bit risky for you, but in the end, the trade in terms of health ended up being about even, and you have more sustain. So that means you can now take control of the lane. Basically, if you have a sustain lane versus a lane with lower sustain, like Tarek, even if you both have exchanges where both people on both teams lose 90% of the health, you win, because you can just sit back and heal up, and they have to leave. Okay, Ezreal's backing right now. Usually... Oh, well, he was attempting to back. Usually if your support wants to back, though, you usually want to back at the same time. Because often if you don't back at the same time, you'll get hit, or... you won't have your items. And then when you do have to back, you'll be leaving your support alone for a while. This support didn't back when Sivir had to back, so he's really low health right now. So he's not being aggressive and coming into stun as much as he should be, because he's so low that he's scared to do it. If he had backed at the same time as Sivir, then they'd be able to be more aggressive right now. Soraka doesn't have much harass. She has her Q, but you shouldn't be using her Q because you don't have infinite mana anymore. So, it should kind of be... If you can harass with auto attacks and silence, you should, but often it's really just not worth the exchange because it's not going to be a lot of damage versus the risk of putting yourself in a position where you might get stunned. You want to keep track of where your opponent has warded, of course, so especially when you're pushed, you want to keep track of where your opponent has warded so that you can help your jungler know what routes to take. Ezreal got kind of stupid there, and you didn't have sight on Taric, so you couldn't silence him. It wasn't really your fault. However, if once Taric stunned him, or any support has used their abilities, you should switch your silence to the AD, so that they can't follow it up well. You want to try to stop her from boomeranging, in her case, in people's case. Right there, inexplicably used your heal before you used your... I mean, you used your Summoner heal before you used your Astral Blessing. I don't know why you did that. You should really never be using Summoner heal when your regular heals are still up. Right now, yeah, now you should back. The enemy team both died, so you have space to go back without leaving Ezreal alone against people. And you're also out of wards bottom. Whenever you're out of wards bottom, you pretty much need to back. Oh, your Lee seems like he's kind of started derping. Right now, it's good to poke people when they're trying to do Baron. However, you should get into a position to be silencing Annie. She had her stun up that whole time. I guess she didn't have Tibbers, but if she had, Ezreal could have been killed. You need to position... I know you're trying to like avoid her stunning both of you, but you need to get into a position where you can silence her. Honestly, I haven't played Soraka post-patch, but I played with her. I always like to play her with anybody with spammable abilities. When your team's winning in a good situation like this, I feel it's best to press your advantage. So my next two build items would be boots and then an oracles. When your team's ahead, if you can take away map vision, it's huge because